Got a 96 Jeep Cherokee with a 3-inch rough country lift. It's the entry model, not the X series. I didn't have lower control arms, so I had a couple issues. 2 bolts on the back right broke, and I had to cut out through the passenger compartment there to get access to the top and put in new bolts. So overall, it took me about 12 hours to do by myself. Had some issues with the broken bolts and weather, but it got done. So it raised the front up 3 1/4 inches in the front, and now have at the top of the wheel well 35 inches. In the back here, it raised it up 3 inches and probably about 1/4 as well. And again, that's the top of the wheel well. Took it out for a drive. It rides good. In the back, it raised it up. I'm trying to think here. I think it raised it up 3 1/2 inches from where it was. Springs were real sagging, and you can see the add-a-leaf kit in there. That new black one right after the main leaf is the add-a-leaf. It added some good arch. I'm thinking about getting some OEM heavy-duty springs. I want to be able to carry a little bit of weight in here without having any issues. So that might be another weekend thing. So overall, easy. So like I said, just complications. Up here in the engine compartment where the top of the shock is, had to remove the coolant reservoir here. It get access down there to that bolt a little bit easier. On the other side here, on the driver's side, you can see where the brake booster is. Down here, right down there is where the top of the shock mounts. I didn't have any kind of tool to get in there besides a wrench, so I had to go old school on that. So it followed the directions on the paperwork that they provide for you. I was going to go about it a little different, and I had to on one thing. My sway bar in here, you're not going to be able to see it too much, but they tell you to disconnect the sway bar linkage with a Torx bit. I think it was a Torx 55 size. I got a pretty good impact on it, and it wouldn't touch it. So what I had to do was just take the main sway bar off. There's a total of 4 bolts. There's 2 brackets on there, and I took it off and got that squared away and dropped it down, and that solved that issue. Springs getting in there, I actually had to use a spring compressor that I had and get them up in there. I couldn't get enough leverage because I couldn't get that Torx bolt out. It kind of would have made it a little easier if you could have gotten that out, but I work with what I got. Moving on to the back, the leaf springs again, they weren't too horribly bad to put in. Getting everything realigned, sorry about the glare, but getting them realigned was a little bit of an issue. Obviously doing it by myself, I had to jack up the rear end and put another jack on the universal joint there to kind of give it a little bit of angle to get my center pins to line back up in the center pin alignment hole. As you can see, they're not the factory wheels. I put on some Jeep TJ Rubicon wheels, kind of like the look of them. A little bit better, plus my wheels were absolutely rusted out. They were the steel wheels that came factory. Overall, pretty good ride. Took it out for a couple drives so far, just on the road. Got up to 65 miles an hour. No bad vibrations or anything. I got a little bit of a clunk up in the front sometimes on the front driver's side. I'm thinking it's my sway bar bushings. They are absolutely shot. So that's going to be another thing I got to replace. Overall, great rough country 3-inch lift so far. Haven't tried to get it off-road yet, but I like the aggressive appearance it adds to it. It rides a lot better than what I had. I just had the old worn-out shocks on there. That's part of what made me get the 3-inch rough country lift, is the fact that it came with the shocks and not just coils and stuff. So price-wise was real good. It got here, I think, 2 or 3 days after I ordered it. It was sitting at my house, and had to wait till I got some time to put it on. So I hope this is helpful to some folks. Overall, so far, good lift. Would recommend it to somebody else, and price-wise, it was a pretty good bargain. Looking at everybody else's prices, you're looking at $500 versus about $255. So I'll put on if I got any issues out of it, which I highly doubt I do. They got a pretty good customer service rapport going for them. So thank you, Rough Country.